And becoming the best at it and mastering myself and seeing what I have within me. If you decide to drop your buckets where you are and develop your gifts, I grant you, you'll never ever be without. I grant you that your gifts will take you places that will literally amaze you.
All right, hey everybody, and welcome to Zenfolio Live. I'm Robert with Zenfolio Customer Success. I want to say thanks for joining me today on the live stream. Today we're going to be talking about how to keep private client galleries safe and secure. So we're going to be talking about creating a secure clients group that allows you to automatically apply some settings to any newly uploaded content. We're also going to be talking about how you title the galleries. You want to make sure that you're careful with how you title these galleries. You don't want to be including things like Boudoir or stuff in your titles. And then I'm going to show you how to create a strong password, making sure that those galleries stay secure. Now, don't forget, we are having a Zenfolio Live photo challenge, so I want to know what makes you guys smile. Be thinking about this photo topic. Hopefully by next week I will have the details on how to actually enter the challenge. And then as a last reminder, don't forget we're going to be down in Imaging USA in Atlanta, Georgia, starting on the 20th through the 22nd. So make sure you stop by our booth and say hi. I'm going to be down there. Come by, say hi, come hang out with us. I'd love to see you guys there. And if you plan on going to Imaging USA or you're already down in Atlanta and you'd like some free expo passes, there's a link in the description below the video where you can go and sign up for expo passes for free. Let me say hi to you guys in chat really quick. So you got Roxanne hanging out with us. Jorgen or Jorgen, hopefully I said it well, from Denmark. Howard from St. Louis, Missouri. Craigslist and Forte hanging out with us, so always glad to have you guys here hanging out with us. If this is your first time watching Zenfolio Live, make sure that you say hi to us in the chat. Let us know where you're from. Also, don't forget to make sure you click that subscribe button and ring the little bell so you get notifications when we go live and when we post new video tutorials. All right, guys, so let's go ahead and jump into today's topic where we're going to be talking about creating those private galleries, making sure that they're safe and secure. So here we are in my Zenfolio account. And the first thing you guys want to do before you start uploading, and again, this is going to apply whether you're shooting boudoir photography, maybe you're just photographing kids and you want to make sure that their images don't end up online in Google search results or something like that. So any kind of sensitive subject matter where you want those photos to be really protected, these principles are going to apply. So it doesn't just have to be boudoir photography. It can be kids, it can be horse photography, anything like that where you just want to make sure that you have those images and those galleries protected. So the first thing that you want to do is you want to create a private clients area, so a private clients group. And what that's going to do is that's going to let you apply some specific settings so that anytime you upload new content, it's protected the second that you upload it into Zenfolio. So we're going to create that group first. So what we're going to do is we're going to go down here, over here underneath the new section right here. And I'm just going to go to all photographs, and you can do this a couple of different ways, but I'm just going to create a new group right here by clicking the little caret menu, hitting new group, and then I'm going to title this private clients. All right. So we're going to title it private clients. I'm going to put that in here and it's right there. Let me get this out of the way. Sorry about that. So here's private clients. And then what we're going to do is we're going to apply some specific settings to this group, because every single time I upload something in here, I don't want to have to worry about setting it up, making sure that it's secure. I want it to be that way from the time I upload it. So we're going to click on this new group that I created, and then what we're going to do is come over here to access right here, and we're going to change some settings. So right now you can see, well, you probably can't see. Let me get myself out of the way here. There we go. Now, as you can see, this is being synced with the containing group. So this means that this group is taking whatever settings I've applied to my all photographs group and is syncing it with this group, which is what we don't want to happen. So what we're going to do is we're going to uncheck this option, and we're going to give this specific group some certain settings. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and set this up to be not password protected. I'm going to set this group up to be private. All right, because we're going to be putting new client galleries in here. Not everybody's going to have the same password. So I'm going to set it to private so that when I upload the galleries in there, they're going to be private at first, and then I'll have to go change them to password protected before I send it out to the client. So we're going to set this group to private. All right, the next thing that we're going to do is go to the downloading and make sure that it's disabled. Obviously, you want to have this disabled in the beginning. If you want to turn this on later, you can. However, I don't use this download option. I use digital products. It's a much better way to give your clients downloads. And if you're not sure how to use the digital products feature, make sure that you check out the tutorial that's on our YouTube channel. And I probably forgot to say this in the beginning, guys. If you have any questions as I'm going through this, make sure that you get those in the chat. Cheryl's hanging out with us today, moderating. So make sure that you get those questions in the chat, and I will get those answered for you guys today live. All right, so we're going to make this group private, and then we're going to set the download setting to disabled so that downloading is disabled by default. Now, next what I'm going to do is go down here to the commenting section, and I personally don't like using the guest book and the photo comment, so I'm just going to go ahead and turn these off for this group. Then we're going to go to the search. So the search is really important. If you look right now, it says allow content to be publicly searchable, and this is what we want to turn off. We're thinking about private clients here, again, boudoir photography, sensitive subject matter that we don't want turning up on Google search engines. So I'm going to set this to do not include in any search results. There is another option here to allow it to be searchable on your site. I'm turning this to do not include because I only want clients to be able to access their galleries by a direct link that I'm going to email them. I don't want them to come up in any kind of search results at all. So we're going to set this to do not include in any search results. All right, next is display options. And this is another important one that I would recommend checking out. Not so much security. Well, the recently added right here. You want to make sure that you uncheck this because there is a recently added section on some of the older home pages, and you want to make sure that you uncheck this. Personally, I uncheck almost all of these options. I don't want my clients seeing my metadata. There's not really a reason for my clients to see what type of camera I'm using, whether I'm shooting an auto or manual. So that kind of stuff I turn off. Visitors, I don't really want people seeing how many visitors there are to the gallery. And then for collections, I don't use collections at all, and I recommend that you don't use collections at all either. So I uncheck that option as well. So now that we've got these set up and applied to that group, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and click that save button right here. And so you're going to see that group is now private, which means it's only visible to me when I'm logged into my Zenfolio account. All right, so only I can see that. And so now the benefit of having this set up is when you have a client gallery that you want to upload, and it's one that it's a sensitive client gallery, you upload it into this group right here. So let's go in here and we'll just say, hey, we're going to create a new group, new gallery, and I'm just going to say client 1. And as soon as I create it inside of that group, what you'll notice is it automatically took those settings on. So I don't have to worry about it being indexed by Google search engines because it's following those settings that are applied to that group. I don't have to worry about it showing up somewhere on my website because it's private. So if we actually go and click on this and we go to access up here, you're going to see it's taken on all of the settings that was applied to that gallery. So it's private, the downloading's turned off, the search settings and all that stuff is set up. So now when I'm ready to get this gallery out to the client, all I have to do is go to access, change this to be locked with a password, put in the password in here, and then we'll actually email that gallery out to the client. Now, before I go through that process with you guys, I want to back up a little bit because I want to talk about gallery titles. All right. So I titled this one Client 1, which is perfectly fine. You can probably title your client galleries with their name, their first name, their last initial. I really want to stress to you guys, especially you guys that do boudoir photography, don't use boudoir in your gallery title, okay? That information can be found on Google. Even though you set this stuff up like this, in case that gallery ends up somewhere you didn't mean for it to, the last thing that you want is to have boudoir on the title, because you don't want people searching for that and finding it. So I would really strongly recommend that you not use words like boudoir in there, or if it's a lingerie session, or just anything that might be searchable where you might get people trying to find that and access that gallery that you don't want accessing it. So just think about the things that you're putting in the title of your gallery, especially for these sensitive subject matter type galleries. All right, so think about that when you're putting it in there. Also, too, don't put the title of the gallery as the password, or don't make the password the same thing as the title of the gallery. If you're going to go through the trouble of password protecting your gallery, make sure it's a strong password. And so that's what we're going to talk about next, is now that this gallery is uploaded, what we're going to do is go up here to Access, go to Lock with a Password, and we're going to create a password here. And so I might create something like, let me just show you really quick. Something like this, where it's a combination of upper or lowercase letters, a couple of numbers, and then a couple of special characters, making sure that that's a really strong password. Dates sometimes are okay as long as it's not like the wedding date for a wedding gallery. But just think about the way that you're password protecting these. If you're taking the time to password protect the gallery, make it a strong password, because you can give this password to the client in the email for them to get to their gallery. So after you've password protected the gallery, now we need to give your client access to this gallery. And so what we're going to do is we're going to copy the password right here, just so I have it handy. Going to save this. And then this is how I recommend getting your clients their gallery links, especially for things like this, for this sensitive subject matter. I like to use our email feature. So I can just come up here and say email gallery. And let me zoom out a little bit so you guys can see the whole screen here. Oh, there we go. I like to use our email feature, because what this is going to do is it's going to send the direct link of this gallery right to your client. That way they don't have to come on your website and try to figure out how to access it. You don't have to worry about putting it on your website, trying to keep it where people aren't trying to access it, but letting your client get to it. This is the way that I do it. This is the way I would recommend doing it. It's really easy. Plus, if you guys are anything like me, by the time I get a gallery uploaded and ready to send out to the client, usually for me it's really late at night or slightly early in the morning, and I really don't want to email my clients right then. So what I like to use the schedule option right here. So I'll just click on this and I'll say, let's schedule to send this out. And I'm going to email them tomorrow during their lunch hour. So let's say tomorrow at 11:30. We're going to put in their email right here. So I'm just going to throw in a fake email. We're going to scroll down here. Let me get my little bar out of the way there. So we're going to scroll down here and let me zoom in. There we go. We're going to scroll down here and put in whatever information you want. And then you can just put a quick line that says your password is. There's the password. Here's the link to the gallery, and then we can continue to preview. And if there were actually images in the gallery, they would show up here, and here's the link to that gallery, and then here's the password for your client right here. So doing it this way is going to do a lot of good for you. One of the things is that this gallery is not accessible from your website at all, because it's in that private clients group. So it's not accessible at all from your website. And then making sure that you have those access settings set up to where it's not searchable is just going to prevent it from showing up in Google search results and people trying to hack into that gallery. So that's pretty much it, guys. Hopefully that give you some ways to think about that, some good processes. What you can do as well is I like to have 2 client sections. So I'll have a client section here where it's okay for those galleries to be public, where people don't mind their images being viewed. And those galleries, I'll even make sure that I go in and keyword those because those are good for your SEO. And then having a private client section to where you put in the galleries that you need to keep protected and that you don't want people to access. All right, let me grab some questions here from chat. I'm sure you guys got some questions in chat. A lot of you guys hanging out with me today. Let's see. Let me say hi to you guys in chat really quick. So, Forte, Philip Reedy, hey, Phil, Patrick Power from San Francisco, Craigslist, Alex Neely from Atlanta. Hey, Alex, we're going to be down in your area, so hopefully you are planning to come to Imaging USA. If you're not, or if you haven't planned on it, definitely hit up that link in the description below this video. Get your free expo passes. Come say hi to us at the Zenfolio booth. Let's see. Scott Quillen says, having the ability to limit the number of logins and track the IP of logins prevents people from sharing their login with the world. Security should include unauthorized sharing. Right. That is a really great suggestion. We definitely don't have that option yet, but there's a way that doesn't track the IP, but there is a way that you can limit the number of people who can access this. And there's actually an additional access feature, Scott. I'm not sure if anybody showed you guys this yet. So to Scott's question, he doesn't want the clients to be able to share their login with just anybody. And you can actually do that in Zenfolio with a third option down here. So if we go down here to access, and let me get back to that client gallery quick. So if you go to access, and there's these 3 privacy settings up here. But if you scroll down, there's one that says advanced setting. And what this one is that one is called restricted. So it's Zenfolio only, restricted Zenfolio users only. And the way that this works, Scott, is that your client actually has to create a client account with you first. And then once they do that, you take the email address that they use to create that client account and you add it to this list. And then only the email addresses of the people who have been added to this list can actually access that gallery. So it's a step above being password protected. They actually have to log into a client account first, which lets you know what client account's being used. And then their email address has to be on this list before they can actually access the gallery. So this is definitely an additional security measure that you can take. Now, I don't think it tracks the IP addresses anywhere that's visible, but it's just an extra step that you can take. But great suggestion for sure. We're definitely looking for the ways that we can improve that, and IP tracking might definitely be something that we should implement. So great question, Scott. Thanks for that. All right, let's see. Terry Hatcher says, hi, Patrick Power, excellent point. Yes, absolutely. Lynn Long from Charlotte. Hey, Lynn, thanks for coming and hanging out with us again. Lynn says, make sure that you turn off your SEO options. Otherwise, the spiders will find your images. Found out the hard way with a Boudoir client. Absolutely, guys. Again, it's really, really imperative that you guys do that private clients group. So that way, the second that you upload that new gallery, as long as you upload it into that new group, all of those settings are already going to be applied for you. You don't have to remember to go in there and do it because, trust me, I am a super forgetful person, and so I believe in developing habits that compensate for my forgetfulness. And this is one of those habits that you guys should definitely develop, making that client group so that you can just upload your galleries and not have to worry about all those settings. You just go change the password and email the gallery out to your client. So definitely a great point there, Lynn. Thanks for bringing that up. Let's see. Forte says the spiders find you. Robbie Allman says, is collections the same as favorites? So if you guys have been on the live stream for a while, you'll probably hear me talk about collections on and off. Let me just say that I would strongly encourage you to not use collections. They can cause a lot of confusion. And let me just take you guys through the collections workflow really quick and show you why I recommend not using those. So first, what we need to do is talk about galleries and groups here in Zenfolio. And so we have galleries. This is where your actual photos are stored. And then we have groups right over here. These are more for organizational purposes. You can't actually upload photos or videos inside of groups. You have to create galleries in them first. So groups are only for organization. And then there's a third thing that you can use on Zenfolio called a collection. And what a collection is it lets you take images that exist in several different galleries and display them all in one place. Now, the way you want to think about collections is that it actually doesn't hold the images. It holds desktop shortcuts, so to speak, of the images in that. So if I go here to all photographs and I create a new collection and I just call this demo, okay, I can go to any one of my galleries down here, like the client's gallery, and I'll go to this one, and let me just go to this one here, and I've got this family portraits gallery. And I can go here and I can say, let's add this to a collection right here. Okay, so I'm going to add that to a collection. And then let me go to, let's go to a portfolio gallery that's going to be public. And I'm just going to grab a photo from here out of random and add it to that collection. So add to collection. And now here is the reason why I don't recommend using collections. Because if we go down here to that collection, it's down behind me there. Let me get myself out of the way so you guys can see it. There we go. If we go to that collection right here, and give my internet some time to catch up. There we go. If we go to that collection, what you're going to notice is that both of those photos are there, but these photos are carrying the settings that were applied to them in their originating gallery. So this photo is protected by a password and this one is not. Also, this photo might have a price list on it and this one might not. All of those settings are coming from the original galleries and there's not a way to change that in the collection. So what happens a lot of times is people start building all these collections and they have all these photos coming from different galleries that have different passwords on them, that have different price lists. And then when they go to look at that collection, or a client goes to look at that collection, they can't see some of the photos because it has different passwords. And so for that reason, that is why I don't recommend using collections, because it doesn't let you change the settings for this photo in this collection. This photo is just a desktop shortcut that carries the settings from its originating gallery. So if you want to have something set up like this, where you have photos from different galleries all in one place, you just want to create another gallery and copy your photos to it, because then you can change the settings of those photos. So just to show you that process real quick, Robbie, what I'm going to do is go right here and I'll just say new gallery and I'll just call this demo 2. And so now what I'm going to do is go back to those same two places where I used those photos to add to that collection, and I'm going to copy those to the gallery, and I'll show you how you can change the settings. So what we're going to do is go to this portfolio gallery first. I'm going to copy this image, so I'm going to click on that, and I'm not going to move it because I still want this image to stay in this gallery. I'm just going to copy this image to that demo 2 gallery right there. So we're going to copy it. Okay, so now that image has been copied. So let's go down to this family portraits gallery here, and we're going to go here and do the same thing. So I'm going to go up here, I'm going to copy to there, and if you'll notice, there's not even an option to copy to the collection. That's because images don't actually stay in the collection. It's just like a shortcut. So I'm going to copy this image to the gallery. And then what we're going to do now is we're going to go down to that gallery. Let me get myself back out of the way. What we're going to do is go back down here. So here's the collection and here's the gallery. So if I click on the gallery, now if you'll notice, these images are using the same settings that are applied to that gallery. So this one does not have the password lock on it. But if you view it in the collection, it does have the password lock on it. So that is the difference, and that is why I tell everybody that if it's at all possible, stay away from using collections, because they can cause a lot of confusion with all of those different settings coming from different places. Great question, though. I'm glad that you brought that up. But to answer your other question, clients can still add them to favorites. So if you turn off that collection option, your clients can still create favorites inside that private gallery. So when they go into that gallery and it's the secure and all the settings that we just applied, they can still favorite the images and have a favorite set. Totally different settings. All right, let's see. Caitlin Gonzalez says, how do you hide the info part of the photos that shows when you click on a photo? So there's a couple of different ways that you can do that. You can do that in some of that. You can do it in the gallery. So if you go here to the gallery, go to access, there's going to be the display options. Again, turning off the metadata and all that information right here. That's one of those settings, and that's probably where you want to turn that off, is right here. But there's also some options inside of the gallery as well. Personally, for me, I like turning it off here, just unchecking the display metadata information. Usually I make sure that that's turned off. And if you want to make sure that it's turned off for everything that you upload, just go up to your all photographs group, go ahead and turn it off here. Now, if you have anything that you've changed down here, you will have to change it. But if you want it off by default, then you can turn it off up here as well. Inside of the gallery, though, it depends on what information you're talking about. So if I go to my homepage gallery, for instance, right click on preview, open it in a new tab, we can go take a look at some of the options. So if I click on a photo, this one's probably not going to have anything. Let's go to edit page really quick. And it also, too, it depends on how you have your gallery set up. So if I click on a photo, this is going to open it in dim the lights mode, because that's how I have it set up. But if I wanted to have it set up to open maybe to a photos page, or if it's going to the shopping page, there's going to be different options there. So if I go here now, this little info tab over here, I guess is what you're referring to right here. And I think that is going here and right here. So that's not that one. Where's it at? Page elements. So here's some of it right here that you can hide right here. And then also you can hide some of it down here. But a big part of it's going to be turning it off on the gallery back here. So if I go back to this home page and I go access and I go to display options and say don't display that information, save it. I'm probably going to still see it here because I'm logged into the gallery as the photographer. Yeah, so I'm still logged in, but as you can see, it's not showing any of that other information that was there before. And again, there's so many different ways to have your gallery set up. It really depends on how it's set up, what information that you're talking about. But hopefully that kind of gave you some places to start looking to see where you can get that information removed. And then once you have it set up looking the way that you want, just make sure that you save it as default. And then don't forget to publish up here on the top right so that those changes actually go out to your live website. All right, let me hop back to my dashboard really quick. Great questions today, guys, though. Thank you so much for the questions. Really quick, if you guys are watching the recorded version of this, we would love to have you guys join us on a live stream. But I know not everybody can drop what they're doing and jump on a live stream in the middle of Thursday, which is why I really appreciate those of you guys who do. But if you're watching the recorded version of this, there's a link in the description below. It says questions for next week. You can use that link to submit a question and I will answer it the following week. Also, make sure that you click the subscribe button and subscribe to us in iTunes. iTunes is the only place where you're going to get notifications when the recorded version of the live stream is actually pushed out to the channel and you can go back and watch it. So if you guys aren't subscribed in iTunes, go to iTunes podcast directory and do a quick search for Zenfolio video tutorials. But let me grab an email question really quick, and then I will come back and check on you guys here in chat. So got an email question that says, can I get the currency for my local clients in South Africa? And then it's kind of a two-part question. How do I get the API link for my local print labs for auto fulfillment? So when it comes to currency, we do have a limited amount of currencies that you can use in Zenfolio. If you are selling self-fulfilled or something like that, or if you're using our integrated vendors, you're going to be limited to the currencies that either the vendors allow or that we allow with our PayPal integration for self-fulfilled products. That's information that you can find in Zenfolio. I'm going to throw out a link here in the chat for you guys really quick. So that's a link to our help guide, and it will tell you all of the currencies that we have. And I think for South Africa, you guys are on the Rand, I believe. And unfortunately, we do not have that currency integrated yet. But let me go to selling really quick, and I'll go to self-fulfilled products. And just to show you really quick what currencies we do have available, you can go down here, and here are all the currencies that we currently integrate with and accept for self-fulfilled products. So this is going to be through self-fulfilled products where you'll integrate with PayPal, and the final payment process will be done through PayPal. So that is an option there. If you want to use a lab that's outside of Zenfolio's integrated labs, you're going to want to go with the self-fulfilled product route. If you want some more information on that, there's a really good tutorial on our channel. It's called How to Sell Anything You Want on Zenfolio. That will take you completely through the self-fulfilled product option. It'll show you how to set up your PayPal account. It'll show you how to create products, how to create shipping methods, and how to set all this up and add it to a price list and start offering products. Now, your second question was, how do I get the API link for my local print labs? Unfortunately, that's not an option at this time. There's not really a way for them to API link to us in Zenfolio. If you want to see what options are available through the API, you can just do a quick Google search for Zenfolio API and see what information's there. But when it comes to self-fulfilled products, basically what you'll do is you'll get the order, you'll have the order information, and then from that point, it's kind of on you how you want to fulfill that. Whether you want to send that order to the lab, you could email them the information, you can, whatever process they have, you'll have to follow through with that process. So hopefully that kind of helps get you started in the right direction. Definitely, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to the support team. You can reach out to the support team at zenfolio.com/contact. All right, let me jump back to my dashboard really quick. I don't know why I keep calling it the dashboard. I guess because it was called the dashboard. And got a couple more email questions, but I'm going to check on you guys in chat really quick, make sure that I'm trying to stay caught up. Let's see here. And back to Caitlin's question really quick. You can use page options. So let me go back to that really quick, because you can use page options to remove the info panel. So if I go to edit page really quick, somebody's telling me that I can do that. So if I go to options, thumbnail page, we're going to open in the photo page here. And then if we go here, there should be an option to remove that. I must just be missing it. So let me slow down and see if I'm missing that somewhere. It's somewhere on here. I know it has to be. Maybe that's one of them. It's somewhere on here where you can remove this. I just can't find it, but it is in page elements, I believe. So let me look one more time. It's got to be here somewhere. This button can be removed in page options. I just can't find where to remove it right now. But, oh, did I do it? I removed it. So whatever I just clicked removed it, guys. I don't remember which one it is, but it's in here somewhere. Sorry. So it's in there somewhere. You can remove that info tab as well. All right. So let me get back to the home page. Hopefully that did not just confuse you guys, but you can remove that info tab as well. Okay, let's see. Robbie says, is it still okay to use Boudoir in the metadata if you are choosing not to be searching for... Oh, let me go back up. Is it okay to be... Wow, if you're choosing not to be searchable or not to show the metadata, I would be careful about it. The reason I say that is because, yes, as long as you follow all of those settings and you make sure that you have everything set up correctly for it not to be searchable, then if you're using Boudoir and the metadata and all that stuff, you should be fine. But the key word, right, is if. It's as long as you have everything correct, you should be fine. My problem is that sometimes I make mistakes. Sometimes I put the gallery in the wrong section. Sometimes I accidentally move it, or I forget to do something. And so for me, I like to be as careful as possible, especially when it comes to that type of photography. And so I would not upload it with that metadata. Now, if you're talking about keywording it in Lightroom so that it's really easy for you to find those types of photos in Lightroom, you can export your photos out of Lightroom without the metadata intact. So it's just an option that you have to uncheck when you export it out of Lightroom. And then when you upload it into Zenfolio, it's not going to have that in the keywords, but you'll still have it in Lightroom. I think that's probably what you're talking about, but if not, hopefully I at least gave a little bit of clarity to that. All right, let's see. Eric Woodward says, Philly Stream Multimedia is watching. Let's see. Caitlin says, we are looking for a scheduling option for my clients. Is that coming anytime soon? Definitely something that we are looking at. For sure. I don't have an exact timeline on it yet, but I know it's something that's being explored, so more information to come soon. However, in the meantime, there are some third-party options that you can integrate into a Zenfolio custom page that will allow you to do that as well. You can do something like Jotform, or there's a lot of other ones that you can do that will give you an embed code that you can put into a custom page. If you will go to our YouTube channel and do a search for custom pages, there's going to be a lot of different videos that pop up, and some of those will get you really close to showing you how to integrate those third parties, create a custom page, and then you can have that up on your website. But it's something that we're looking at. I just don't have the exact timeline on it. All right, let's see. Clients who want to share the photos will share their email address for logins. Good point, Patrick. I mean, there's only so much you can do, really, to be honest. There's only so much you can do. People who want to find a way to share information and beat the system are unfortunately probably always going to be able to find a way to do that. But, you know, the IP tracking, like was mentioned earlier, is definitely something that's worth looking at for sure. Okay, let's see. Let me catch up to you guys. Let's see. Howard says, should your organization correspond to my menu bar? That's a great question. I never organize the inside of my account in terms of thinking about my menu bar on my website. So they're kind of two different things, and I like to think of them in two different ways. Because in the account, right, we're going to have things that we don't want people to access. Maybe we're going to use our Zenfolio account and store our cell phone photos. Or maybe we're going to, have private client galleries. Maybe we're going to have a bunch of branding assets uploaded just as the place to kind of store it. So for me, I don't like to have my organization reflecting my menu bar or my navigation bar. I like to keep those things in my mind as two separate things. Now, with that being said, if you want to kind of have it in a certain order that's fairly, comparable, that's fine. I just like to keep it in my mind as two separate things. Again, you're going to have things in here that you don't want people accessing. Like, for instance, I have this website assets group here, and that's something that people aren't going to access. It's just a place for me to store stuff that I use on my site. So mentally I like to keep a complete separation between the navigation of my website and the organization of my account. What I would recommend for your account is having it organized in a way that reflects what you have on your computer. That way, if you're looking for an image on your computer or if you're looking for it on your Zenfolio account, they're going to be in about the same place, and it's an organization that you're already used to. Let's say you are traveling and you left your hard drive at home, but you need to access some client images in your Zenfolio account. Well, luckily you can just go online, access them, and as long as it's in an organized manner and you are used to the organization, it's going to be really easy to find. That's what I try to encourage the people, is make your organization in your account match what you're used to on your computer as close as you can, and keep that mental separation of this stuff does not automatically go to my site navigation. My site navigation is just what I want to be seen on my website. This is totally different. Hopefully that answered your question. So just let me know if you have any more questions about that. Hopefully that answered the question there. Okay, let's see. Also, guys, don't forget, we are running a photo challenge. So next week, I'm hoping to have details on how to enter that challenge. The topic is what makes you smile. So I want to see photos of what makes you guys happy, whether it's a place where you like to go and relax. Maybe it's your kids, maybe it's your wife, maybe it's friends, whatever makes you guys happy. That's what I want you guys to start thinking about. I'm going to be participating as well, although I'm not going to be participating in any contest. I'm just going to be doing the photo challenge. So get to thinking about those photos. Go ahead and start taking them. And hopefully by next week, we'll have the details on how you actually enter the challenge. So something to start thinking about. All right, let's see. John says, is there a way to change the buy button drop down on gallery pages to say something other than select photos? Would love to have other options for my self-fulfilled products like select products. Unfortunately, at the moment, John, there's not a way to customize that select photos button in the gallery. There's not a way to change that. There's not a way to change the text of what it says. You can customize the button. You can change the shape. You can change the color. You can change everything about that button just about except for what it actually says on there. So unfortunately, at this moment, you can't really change what it says, but it would definitely be a nice option to have. Really good feedback. I'm going to make sure that gets passed along, but at this time, it's just not possible to change what it says. All right, let's see. Scott says, thanks, account sharing prevention is so important to specify the number of didn't IPs allowed. Absolutely. I mean, I totally understand, Scott. Definitely something that we're going to look forward to, or look at moving forward. Just at this time, it's definitely not possible. And then Forte said, it's over my head. I blame the red hair. All right, let's see. Scrolling down, let me make sure that I'm getting all your guys' questions. Pocket Suite for booking and taking. Okay, well, thank you, Forte. Okay, so caught up to you guys on chat. Finally, a lot of you guys here. Really good questions. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you guys coming and hanging out and asking all these great questions. Let me grab some more email questions. Guys, as we're going through, we've still got about 20 more minutes left. Make sure that you're getting those questions in the chat so I can get those answered live. Let me grab a sip of tea or I'm going to lose my voice. Okay, I got a question here. I think it's from the chat. I'm not sure who asked it. It says, is there a way to print an image on a larger paper than the image? It says you would need to upload an image that matches the required size. I'm not too sure I understand this question. So if somebody could let me know in the chat, just clarify a little bit exactly what you mean by, is there a way to print an image on a larger paper than the image? So if you guys can just kind of clarify a little bit in the chat, let me know exactly what you're asking. Give me maybe an example. I'd be happy to answer that question. I'm just not sure I understand the question. All right, let me grab another email question here really quick. Let's see. I just signed up for Zenfolio a week ago, and I don't think I'm going to be doing much blogging. Can I remove that option? Well, you can't remove the blog entirely from your website. It's kind of a built-in feature. It's something that I like. I don't do a lot of blogging. I need to get into it, but it's nice knowing that Zenfolio has that built in. You can't really remove that feature from your website, but what you can do is you can remove the blog from your site navigation. And so what you'll need to do is just hover over website. I'm going to right click and open this in a new tab. We're going to go into customize view. And then a lot of times whenever you go through the setup flow of setting up your new account in Zenfolio, you'll answer some questions, and based on those questions, it'll add some site menu options up here. And I think by default, blog is usually automatically added to the site menu. And so you can remove this. Guys, you are in complete control of your website navigation. You do not have to leave this the way it was when you set up your account. In fact, I would recommend that you dive in here and you really explore setting this up and making your website your own, customizing this, making this navigation work the way that you want it to work, and give your clients a specific path that you want them to follow. But to answer your question about the blog, you just have to remove it from your site navigation up here. So let's just say that the About page is my blog link. All I do is click on hover over it right over here, click on the pencil icon, and then we're going to remove it right here by clicking remove. This is going to refresh. You're going to see that about button removed. And then all you would want to do is make sure that you publish the changes right here. And that's going to basically remove the blog from your visitor side of your site. Now, the blog's still built into your Zenfolio account. Again, it's an option that's built in. It's a really nice option if you're a blogger. If you're not a blogger, I would definitely encourage you guys to start blogging. It's really good for your SEO. I need to start blogging. My wife tells me all the time I need to update my site and do a lot of stuff. But blogging is really good for your SEO. But if you're not going to do it, if you're not going to keep your blog updated, that's important. If you've done some blogging in the past, but maybe you're not doing it anymore, if your blog says the last post was 2014 or 2015, I would either get back in the blogging habit or remove that blog until you've got some blogs uploaded, because there's nothing worse than a client or a potential client coming to your site, checking out your blog, and then it says you haven't blogged in 5 years, and that's just not a good thing for them to see. So I would remove it if your blog's not kept up to date. All right, let's see. Let me grab another question really quick. Let me see if I have any questions here in the chat. All right, let's see. Oh, Cheryl answered the image question for me already. Awesome. Thank you, Cheryl. Bobby says, will you be at the Imaging USA in Atlanta next week? Yes, I will be down there at the booth. Actually, we're doing client or user interviews. So if you guys are in Atlanta, come see us, come visit our booth. Hopefully I'll have the booth number. Cheryl, if you know the booth number, can you throw that in the chat for me? I believe we have the booth number information. I just don't have it handy. Come by, say hi. Love to hang out with you guys and chat. So definitely come by and say hi there at the Zenfolio booth. Let's see. Does pre-order still have the delay in payment? I'm not sure what you mean by that, Terry. Do you mean the approval process like normal orders, or the delay in payment you mean as far as the payment gets deposited into your Zenfolio account and then you have to do a payout for it? If that's kind of what you're asking, then yes, pre-order, the profits from pre-order, all the money from pre-order gets deposited into your Zenfolio account, and then you do have to request a payout for it. So hopefully that answered that question. All right, let me grab another email question really quick here. Great questions today, guys. So thank you so much for that. Let's see. I have visitor sign-in enabled, and I keep getting emails saying that somebody has signed into a gallery, and they are using what appears to be a phony email. The gallery is password protected. The client does not recognize the email. Has my gallery been hacked? So, guys, that's a great question. I have seen this question come up time and time again. And so let me just make sure that you guys understand exactly what the question is. Let's go to this client gallery right here, okay? This client gallery is password protected. However, there's also another feature in Zenfolio. And if you guys aren't familiar with this feature, definitely check it out. It's going to help you build your email list. But what this feature is called it's called visitor sign-in. And so basically what it does is it asks, anybody that's going into the gallery, it's going to ask them for their name and their email address, and it's going to add it to a contact list that's inside of Zenfolio. And so you turn it on by going up here to Access, and then just scroll down, and it's right here, Visitor Sign In. I'm going to uncheck this, and then I'm going to say Display a Visitor Sign In, and then you can have it send you an email if you want. And you want to make sure that you have it set to automatically update your contact list. Now, let me show you what this looks like. So if I hit preview, when somebody goes to this gallery, and actually this one, let me go back down here really quick and save it. And I'm going to show you how to preview this in an incognito window. So let's do that. So I'm going to go to sharing, and we're going to get this short link. And I'm going to open this in a new incognito window because now we're going to actually see it like a visitor would. But this is what visitor sign-in looks like. Okay, it's going to ask me for my name, my email, and then it's also going to ask me for the password. The important thing to remember is that just because somebody does a visitor sign-in does not mean that they got access to the gallery. So I can put my name here, you put Robert. I can come down here and I can put a totally fake email at email.com, and then I can put the complete incorrect scribbly password and hit continue, and it's going to say incorrect password like this. That does not mean that somebody got access to the gallery. They can still do a visitor sign in. This information can still go into your account, and it doesn't mean that they got access. They just went through the visitor sign in process. And if I do this another time, it's going to probably block me from the gallery, so I'm not going to do that. All right. The other thing that can happen too is that if you have visitor sign in turned on a group up here, and they do visitor sign in, they get through the group, and then they go to where the gallery's password protected, and they try to enter the gallery password. As long as that gallery password is there and they didn't figure out the gallery password, the client didn't give it to them, then they're not getting access to it, even though they're going through that visitor sign-in process. They can still go through that process without actually gaining access to the gallery. So hopefully that clarified that. Again, your gallery has not been hacked. Most likely what's happening is they're just going through that process and trying to gain access, which is why it's so important, guys, for the galleries like this that you don't want people accessing to have those search settings set up to where they're not showing up in Google search results, because really the only person who should have the link to this gallery is my client or anybody that the client chooses to share that link with. Okay. And then Terry says, what is the quickest way to repair a blocked gallery? So whenever somebody tries to sign into a gallery and they do it, I think it's 3 times. If they do the incorrect password 3 times, their IP actually gets blocked from our service. Now, the length of time that they're blocked depends on the security algorithm, and I have no idea how that works. Way beyond my head. I just know that usually they can try back after about an hour, and as long as they use the correct password, they can actually gain access to the gallery. That is what my suggestion is just to ask your client to wait, and try back after about an hour. Now, I understand that sometimes there are time-sensitive galleries where the client needs to hurry up and get in. Maybe there's some kind of deadline and they need to access that information. You can set the gallery to be public if you want to do that, and that will let them access it, but changing the password won't. So you have to completely remove the gallery password and make it public, and then they'll be able to access that. Now, there is a video on our channel. It's called, let me think of what it's, trying to remember what it's called. I think it's called My Client is Blocked or Locked Out of the Gallery. Do a quick search on our channel for that video. I would recommend you guys watching that. It's going to show you some recommendations of ways that you can set up things so that you can prevent that from happening as much as possible. And then also it will show you that emergency process of, hey, I know they entered the wrong password. I've got to get them in there now. It will actually take you through that process and show you how to do that as well. Okay, great question though. All right, let me grab another email question, guys. We've got about 8 more minutes left. Please make sure you get your questions in now so I can get them answered for you guys live. Let me grab another email question really quick. Let's see here. All right, so I've created a digital download video product, but it doesn't seem to be available in my gallery. Did I do something wrong? I was actually talking to somebody kind of about the same topic of this today. And so, first of all, when you create any kind of digital product, whether it's for video, whether it's for photos, the second that you create that, it's not available for purchase to your clients. There's still some other processes and other steps that you need to follow to get that available to your client. You need to add it to a price list. That price list needs to be added to a gallery. So just going in and creating the digital product is not going to make it available to your client. So let me just show you this really quick. If I go to selling and we go to digital products and I go to add product, and I'm just going to title this one Robert's Video. And we're going to go down here, make it a video product, select a license, make sure that the video quality is set up. And then that's all I'm going to do. I'm going to hit save at the bottom. That product is not yet available to my clients. Okay, so that's not yet available to my clients. So what we're going to do next is we need to add it to a price list. So I'm going to go to selling, price list. I'm going to go with a blank price list really quick. I'm going to call this one video. Guys, you can have as many price lists as you want in Zenfolio. I'm not recommending that you go crazy and have 30 like you probably just saw that I had because I keep creating these demo ones. Make sure that you keep your price list under control. Nothing is worse than having 20 or 30 price lists that you can't remember why you created it. And that's why the name's so important as well, because when you're creating these price lists, make sure that you name it something that means something so you know why you created this. So video demo. And now what I'm going to do is add that digital download product for video to this price list. So here we go, Robert's video. We'll add it in. I'm going to go ahead and give it a price. And then it's going to automatically be added over to the quick shop, but I'm just going to manually select it and put it over there really quick just so you guys can see this. Okay, now the last part of this. I'm going to, and let me get where you guys can see this. I'm going to save and assign this price list, and I'm going to assign it to a gallery right here. Okay, so I've created the digital product, I've put it on a price list, I've put a price on it, I've assigned that price list to a gallery. It should be available for purchase, right? Let's go take a look. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to that gallery that I assigned it to, which is right here, video demo. I'm going to get the link for this gallery really quick. We're just going to open this up in an incognito window. File, new incognito window. I'm going to paste that in. And so I have to do visitor sign in, blah, blah, blah. zenvisitor@gmail.com. Oh, .com. All right, so now if I click on this, it's going to not show that product. That's because that digital product is for video only. And this gallery does not have any video. So if you create a digital video product and you put it on a price list and you assign it to a gallery, if that gallery doesn't have any video in it, it's going to act like it doesn't even have that product in the price list. So you have to have a video in that gallery for that digital product to show up. And unfortunately, I don't think that my account has any video in it, so I can't actually even show you what it would look like. But that's why it's not showing up, because there's not actually any video even in that particular gallery. So that would be the last thing, is making sure that you have that price list assigned, but then making sure that that gallery actually has video in it. If you're just selling, if you want to sell a really long video and you're just wanting to upload a thumbnail image, you still need to upload at least a 2 or 3 second video to act as the thumbnail if you're going to self-fulfill it later and send them the full-length video. Just remember, if it's a digital video product, there has to be a video in the gallery. All right. Let me grab some water really quick. Great questions today, though, guys. Okay, let's see. So it looks like Cheryl threw the booth number out there. We're going to be at booth number 1010. And yeah, as I said earlier, guys, I'm going to be there. Would love to have you guys come say hi. Would love to chat with you. So if you're in Atlanta, definitely come by and say hi. All right, let's see. Alan says, I am trying to come up with a method to present a pre-order link to customers within the gallery and do it with a custom page, but I have to get them to that page. So one of the things that you can do, Alan, is you can do that in your gallery caption. If you want to do that. So if you have a pre-order link that you're putting on a custom page, or if you want to just have them directly go to the pre-order page, you can get that link and you can put it in the gallery caption. So to show you that really quick, let me go to selling. I'm going to open that in a new tab, and I'm going to go and grab a pre-order link really quick. So I'm going to scroll down here, and we're going to grab a pre-order link right here. Let's just grab this one. I'm going to hit that, go up to the top in my browser here, grab this link, copy it, and then what we're going to do is hop back to the gallery here. All right. And then what we're going to do is go to details. Here's the gallery caption here. Now this is for the photo. I need to switch to the gallery. Here's the gallery caption, and I can say, click here to pre-order, or whatever you want to type in there. Highlight it, click the link tool that's right here, paste in that pre-order link. Now, if you're doing this directly to a pre-order page and not to a custom page, I'm going to recommend that you use the open in a new window option. The reason I say that is because pre-order is a landing page and you don't have your normal website's navigation. And so I don't want them to be completely taken away from my website. So I would set this to open in a new tab. So we're going to choose that option right here. We're going to hit OK. We're going to go down to the bottom and save this. All right. Let me make sure that I did that right. Did I highlight the text when I did that? Oh yeah, let's highlight the text. There we go. Okay, there we go. So now I'm going to save this. And then what we're going to do is just make sure that that caption is set to show in the gallery. So we need to go to the gallery. There's that gallery caption, which you can see right here. And let me, you know what? That pre-order link looked weird. Let me go back. Details. Let me delete this stuff here. And then what's going on? What is this weird little bar here? All right, this is the caption. I'm just going to highlight this really quick. Make sure that my pre-order, I didn't copy the pre-order link right. Let me go back and copy the pre-order link. There we go. Copy, go back here. Now we're going to paste that in. What is going on here? Why is it not pasting it right? My computer is having some kind of weird pasting issue, right? There we go. Open in a new tab. Okay. Save it. All right. And then we're going to go back here. Let me refresh this. The caption is showing right here. And shift and refresh it really quick. There's something weird going on with it. The caption is showing right here, and the clients will be able to click on that and go to the link. I'm having some kind of weird issue, but you can set it up like that so that they can actually go to that link from their gallery. I'm having some kind of weird paste issue on my computer. But there we go. All right, guys. Unfortunately, we are out of time, so I want to say thank you to everybody who showed up today and was asking questions in the chat. You guys are awesome. I hope you guys have a great and wonderful week. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys all next week. Hey, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. If you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure that you click that subscribe button. And if you're watching the recorded version of this and you'd like to learn more about Zenfolio, I recommend watching some of the videos that you should see popping up on your screen.